I'm Mr. Know-It-All, the lead swing trading analyst trader at Swing Trade Pros, the #1 swing trading and bot community in the world. And I genuinely want to help you make your mark in the thrilling world of swing trading cryptocurrency. I've been trading since 2017, and I've taught myself many different trading strategies, patterns. I'm known for the falling wedge pattern, as you guys might know. I've dedicated my life to mastering these types of structures and patterns, and now my goal is to impact the lives of 1 million of you. You heard that right. My goal is to impact 1 million people this bull cycle. Let that be you. Cryptocurrency markets can be a roller coaster ride, full of ups and downs. But through swing trading, I've discovered a strategy that can truly make a difference. I've poured countless hours to studying the intricacies of falling wedge patterns, rising wedge patterns, you name it, and it has become my area of expertise. Here's the thing. I genuinely want to see you thrive in this market. That's why I've made it my mission to impact 1 million of you. I want to provide you with the tools, insight, and support you need to navigate this exciting but challenging landscape. Swing trading is not just about technical analysis. It's about understanding market psychology and developing disciplined risk management strategies. I'll be there to guide you step by step as we identify different types of patterns and structures and seize profitable opportunities. Together, we'll build your confidence in trading skills, ensuring you're well prepared to face the twists and turns of swing trading. Believe me when I say that I genuinely care about your success. That's why I'm inviting you to join me, Mr. Know-It-All, on this transformative journey. Let's make the most of this bull cycle and work towards your financial freedom together. You'll find all my links in my bio. Reach out and let's dive into this world of swing trading. I'm here to support you and your family and guide you every step of the way because your success matters to me. Together, let's make a real impact and achieve trading success.
Right, welcome back, traders. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful weekend. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty here in just a second. We're about 2 minutes out from the close here. I wanted to just start this a little bit early. Maybe we get a little bit of price action going into the close. Looks like Bitcoin going to close around right around 62.8K. Nothing wrong with that. Still putting in higher lows, as you guys can see. We have yet to really break this channel. We went to the top of it last week or so and kind of got rejected there, but the 2-week candle here that's going to close, this engulfing candle is still active. To me, this still looks like we're going to be potentially trying to break out of here. It might take a couple more weeks. Looks like we got a nice retest. Really, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, the weekly candle, yeah, you can say that this is a bearish engulfing candle. It is engulfing last week's candle. However, we got a nice buyback off support here. This $59,000 region acting as a major support, which is confluent with the short moving averages and the short exponential moving averages, kind of confluent with those levels. All right, we did get a weekly stochastic RSI cross up last week. That was confirmed. This week we got a bit of a drawdown. That's fine. Our RSI is sitting, 53, which is bullish. Okay, so nothing really concerning about that. We actually did get an RSI breakout last week. You can clearly see that we've broken out on the RSI, and we're going to probably consolidate here for a bit longer. I think we might even get, we did get our retest here. This is our retest on the weekly time frame, and you can see on the daily and the 2-day chart, we're starting to bounce and or try to move back to the upside. So that's what it kind of looks like. I mean, the daily here got a nice reset. We almost confirmed a daily buy signal again above the 20 line here. We'll confirm that. To me, this looks like maybe a potential continuation back up to test 64.7K. If we can reclaim those levels up there, I think we can go retest the $66,000 region. Really, we need to just end up breaking the supply zone here around 67K. Really, none of this price action means anything until we're above, I would say, 71K. Right, that is the magic number here. That is 71K, and that would be the major breakout zone. And likewise for the downside, closures below 54K would spell further downside for Bitcoin. Anything in between that really means a bunch of nothing burger. The altcoin market, we could talk about some of these altcoins, and I will say that they are clearly starting their movements. We can see that we broke out last week. We had a falling wedge breakout and a retest this week. and we're just sitting right on top of the falling wedge breakout. To me, this looks pretty good. It looks like again another daily reset here for the altcoin market. I think we're going to start to get moving on some of these swing positions. All right, and the weekly time frame here is also showing that bearish engulfing candle probably. It actually didn't engulf. It actually came short of engulfing. So technically, this weekly candle on total 3 is still active. We did get a nice piercing retest there. Beautiful. Nice back test after that breakout. We could see a bit more consolidation, maybe another sideways week here, or maybe even one more down week. That's fine. But again, RSI is still looking bullish, sitting here around 51. What's going on, man? What's going on, guys? Nothing bad to say. I think, just like I said, maybe some more consolidation here, maybe another week or two of sideways. Maybe something like this, where we do get maybe one more drawdown and we just consolidate here before we start to trend back to the upside, to at least complete this pattern anyway. And the pattern completion of a falling wedge is the top of the wedge. So at some point, once this pattern does complete, we should be seeing, anywhere from 750 billion to about 800 or 785 billion region. And that's not to say that it can't continue after that, but it would make a lot of sense for us to get up there and then maybe pull back again, right? And then maybe make some sort of double bottom or a major trend reversal on the double bottom, right? And then that could be where we get some sort of XA, BCD type of structure. It might even draw down some more than that. Right? It could also be something like this, where it's a W shape. Okay, so we'll see how this plays out. There's not enough real data yet to really make that conclusion, but it does look like our momentum is still pointing to the upside here on the weekly. The two week time frame is also down here at the bottom, so we got a big windup coming. Okay, the big windup is coming. We didn't confirm this 2 week signal yet, but once like we did last time in January, we confirmed this 2 week signal. And this kind of was drawn out for a bit before we really saw a major movement. So, but this was the bottom of the market. So to me, I think this is going to start happening a lot quicker than it did down here, just because of where we're at in the cycle. All right, so that's your total 3, looking pretty good. Some of these alts look better than others, of course, like Aerodrome, for example. Nice falling wedge breakout. Got nice price action here. Beautiful. Sui is another one we spoke about down there at 50, 60 cents. Beautiful double bottom structure. To me, this looks like a massive continuation type of pattern. We might see a drawdown here in the short term. Our weekly RSI is overbought, and we did deviate outside the Bollinger Band, giving us an early sell signal. So what could end up happening with Sui is we could end up maybe touching and testing $2, and then maybe making another higher low somewhere for a third higher low for the next leg. Okay, so that's your Sui. Just giving you guys an idea. Here's ETH. Let's take a look at Ethereum here. I think nothing's really changed. We're still in the structure. We went up to the 618 gold mean ratio and pulled back with the rest of the market. Again, any closures above 2250 for ETH, I think is fine. This is like the floor that it's trying to put in. And if we do end up making closures below the 2250 level, well, yes, then we're looking at more downside. Okay, but for now, holding above that level and above that range is okay. Our RSI and our stochastic RSI has not yet produced us a buy signal just yet, but it's working on it. You can see it's very close to confirming that buy signal. We could be maybe looking at another week here or 2 weeks of consolidation, ping-ponging in between these ranges here before we really get a move up on Ethereum. So yeah, that's pretty much the crux of it. We covered the total 3 market. We covered Bitcoin a bit there. Some major plays that I'm currently in right now. I have a position on Illuvium down here. It's just a very low risk area to take a trade if we do see some movement here on the alts. And I think, in terms of risk to reward, just for this structure right here, if this plays out, I'm trying to mess with this right now. It's like screwing. But yeah, it's like what? Set your stop below, $32. My entry's around 37, 38 bucks here. And the swing target is, the top of the falling wedge pattern, which is roughly a 26.1 risk to reward. I mean, that's a crazy risk to reward. Now, I can't pass up an opportunity like that. If you're a swing trader, you can clearly, see why this is maybe a good area for value right at the bottom of the structure. So this is a trade that I'm currently in right now. GLQ is another one. This one is another, huge structure with, lows, higher lows, and another higher low, a descending broadening formation. The swing target on this is to the top of the formation. However, what happens if we get some sort of leg like this, which could very well happen? I'm not saying it's going to happen right away. I will be looking to de-risk, somewhere at the top of this structure. In case we do get a drawdown here, I can reaccumulate and then trade that double bottom formation. EGLD, I have a position on this one. I am a little bit underwater on it, and my entry is around $28, $29 on average. Again, it looks a lot like ILV, right? With the bottom of the range type of stuff happening here. Your weekly wave trend is probably at the bottom. Yes, so the weekly wave trend here is in the buy zone or very close to the buy zone. And again, we did get a weekly stochastic RSI cross up, but no follow through price action. So we'll be kind of just chilling to see what ends up happening here. I'm not really going to be panicking anything until we do make closures below this $23 region, and we then confirm it as resistance. Then I'd be looking to exit the swing trade. For now, though, I'm just sitting in this position, patiently waiting, and we'll see how this ends up playing out. I am still in the Kusama trade as well. Kusama also with a similar type of scenario where it's sitting at the bottom of a range and, kind of not really doing too much down here. Again, not the strongest asset really, but, again, sitting down here at the bottom of a range and, Bitcoin looking like it is maybe poised to make its break soon with those signals that we just spoke about. Yeah, so this is just a waiting game here on some of these assets that I'm talking about. INJ looking pretty good. Did break this channel right here. We did see a bit of drawdown last week into this channel, but it just back tested it. You break and you back test. Nothing bad to say about that. Again, momentum oscillator is still looking okay. Yeah, maybe the weekly here looking a little top-ish, but you probably got a 2-week swing coming in. Yeah, there it is. So you got a weekly extended, but your 2-week is going to continue to push the momentum higher. All right, so pay attention to INJ. I think this is set up for some major moves here in the coming weeks. All right. We got 7 people on the stream tonight. Let me know how you guys are doing. What do you guys think about these market conditions? Let's take a look at the fear and greed index, because that's usually pretty important and pretty imperative to what this market's doing. We are sitting neutral right now. So neutral, like I said, if I'm already in positions, it's kind of just a holding pattern right now to see what this market does. And that's pretty much kind of it. Let's take a look at where we're at in terms of altcoin season, because I think we're impending an altcoin season. We're very close to probably doing that. You can see the altcoin index here kind of pushing up. We got this neckline around 47. Once we do break that, I think we will see the start of an altcoin season. Yeah, I think we got maybe towards the end of the month is when we're going to start to see some real movement. Maybe this week we even might see some more drawdown or consolidation, to be honest. But let's take a look at tether dominance here, and then we can make that distinction. All right, so tether dominance here, 5.6%. Still within the bounds of this channel that we've been in here since about March. Yeah. And all right, so we never really ended up making full candle closures below this region. We had a slight deviation and then a pop back into the range. So that kind of what created that drawdown in the market. Okay. I was really looking to see us take out this low and use it as resistance. We did not do that. We ended up just deviating slightly and making a push back into the range, and we got rejected here by the midline. And it looks like we're sitting on this support on the daily chart right now. All right, so to me, this still looks like it's trying to put in a higher low until we end up taking out these lows. Until we end up taking out these lows, you can't really be, hyper bullish this market. It just looks like consolidation. And this weekly candle close here was a bullish engulfing, right? We got this retest. We talked about this happening last week, that we would see something similar, something like this. I said we would probably test 5.7%. I think we went a little bit beyond that, but that's okay. Yeah, and our 2-week momentum oscillator here is about to cross down. We haven't confirmed a sell signal just yet, but once we do, that's when I think fireworks come into this market. And we'll see how that ends up playing out. Our 2-week wave trend here just did cross bullish a bit. So that is a little bit of a concern. And our daily here, bouncing off the bottom of that range we spoke about. We're coming into the midline here. Well, let's see if we can get a nice rejection off the midline there to kind of change this trend. What we like to see is a lower high being put in here, and then a breakdown and a back test as resistance to really kick this bull run off. Okay, that's what we're looking to see. That's what we want to see. If we don't see something like that, then we're looking at, okay, maybe it comes back down for a third test. And, obviously the more times you test a support, the more likely it is to break it, but we'll see how this plays out. For the moment, I think, we're in the middle of a range here. We need to end up breaking this low. If we don't end up breaking this low, then I think we might see some more consolidation and even maybe more drawdown, right? It's really that simple. If we cannot change the trend, like what? Low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, same low, okay? We contested this low, but we never broke it. So we need to break this low to change the tether dominance trend in the market. All right, that's kind of what we're looking for. When tether does push up like that, you obviously are going to get some really good deals on some of these assets because the price is going down, right? And so for me at this point, I'm in a holding pattern. I've been in some of these swings for over a year, and I'm going to continue to just hodl and not really day trade these things because once we do go into this major leg up, it's going to just be time to de-risk and take profit into those movements, and then kind of just wait for the next cycle or next opportunities to come to us. It might be a little boring after this bull market for a couple of years. That's just how these markets work, guys. But I'm here to kind of coach you guys through it all and work through it all with you guys. So appreciate all you guys continuing to tune in. I do my best to go live every week. Sometimes these markets are boring. Sometimes there's nothing to really talk about. But then sometimes you can see some things brewing on charts, and that's when I start posting charts and trades and things like that I think you guys should be aware of. And I'm not, as you guys know, I'm not a day trader. I'm more of a swing trader. If you guys are interested, some of you guys are interested in scalp trading stuff. We have a scalp trader guy in the community who posts all the time. He's very good. He is very prominent about Wyckoff accumulation schematics and 5 waves and Elliott wave theory, and he's very good at that. Look at Kava, sure. Let's take a look at Kava. I think I was trading this at some point in the cycle. Yeah, probably back here where I had it drawn out. Yeah, I mean, not a very strong asset, right? It hasn't really done too much at all this cycle. In fact, it really didn't do too much at all. From October, it went from 57 to $1. It basically made a double up during that whole bull run. So not a very strong asset, but okay, yeah. I mean, there is the argument that this is at the all-time low, and this could be a good area to maybe get into a swing position. The RSI in the 2-week is very close to being oversold. So yeah, a very low risk area to take a trade, right? You could set your stop loss below, 25 cents on something like this, and You could trade it back up to, maybe 60 cents. And if you start breaking back above that, you start reclaiming the 60-cent region, you can be looking at the supply zone here around $1.38. I would say that's going to be a big move for this asset if you can do that. There are a lot better charts that look pretty good. Orca might be one to consider. Yeah, this is a DEX on Solana. It has a pretty good tokenomics metric, and you can see it's about to break out of this flag pattern here. To me, this like if you look at this versus Kava, this to me looks like a better asset than Kava. I'm not trying to throw Kava under the bus by any means, and the trend can change really quickly with that asset. But to me, this looks like a massive cup with handle. This looks pretty good, and you even got a 2-week buy signal confirmed. That looks good, right? Be kind of bratty with your trades because this is your hard-earned money. I should talk. I'm in some trades that don't necessarily look as good as Orca, but they're major layer ones, and they could be producing some major movements here shortly. Just because they haven't performed just yet doesn't mean they won't start to perform. Drift Protocol was another one that looks pretty good. This is a newer asset, but I like what they're doing on their platform. All right, and this to me looks good. You can see low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Right, you can see the consecutive higher lows with the higher highs on price. The trend is clear, right? It's very clear what this thing is going to probably do. All right. Yeah, Super is another one. We spoke about this one when it was like 50 cents. It's already made a double up since there. And, yes, massive falling wedge breakout. Your swing target eventually is $4 on this asset. You can see what it did. Made a huge rip out of here, big pullback. And you got your nice reclaim of this range. Okay. There's lots of assets that are doing some things that look pretty good. Arweave is another probably really good one. It's in another wedge pattern here. All right. How's Filecoin looking? Yeah, let me take a look at Filecoin. I feel like Filecoin is such a heavy asset, man. There's just so much token supply. It looks like it's just in an accumulation zone down here. It's just, they keep defending this low, keep defending this low, keep defending this low, right? So yeah, you could take an entry down here and just set your stop below the all-time lows, or below these lows, below this 250 region, and trade it back up to the top of the range, 1075. It's just like clockwork. Down here, up here, down here, up here, until you end up ping pong breaking this range. It's just ping pong, ping pong, ping pong until there's a break of range. All right. That's just how that goes, man. Dogecoin was also looking actually surprisingly pretty good, right? So Dogecoin broke its downtrend, made a huge rally up to 22 cents, pulled back down to here, 9 cents, and started to pivot here, right? Making higher lows. This looks better than Filecoin, right? Filecoin came all the way back, pretty much all the way back down to its bear market lows. Phantom, another great one, right? Phantom with the double bottom, right, in November, huge rally out, and then came back down, made a huge wick down here to about 25 cents. But that wick was bought up, man. 31 cents was the line in the sand here for that retest. Lots of accumulation on this asset. More than before, right? More than before. Aptos, I think, is one that you guys should be paying attention to. I think this is about to pull what Asui just did, and that is to be depicted by the TVL. The TVL is the total value locked on chain, and I think we spoke about this a bit last stream. The only thing about Aptos that I don't like is their token metrics. But besides the token metrics, just look at the TVL. The TVL is exploding, right? It's breaking its previous highs here from April. That means we're going to see some price appreciation on this chain because, well, money is flowing into this chain. And so like that might, you might want to be looking into, maybe their dexes or maybe their meme coins or, basically anything that might get impacted from money flowing into the chain. All right. So, but yeah, in terms of where it's at on the price, I mean, yeah, it's doubled up off this low, but that doesn't mean why can't it go back up to 17 bucks? It looks like it's going to do that. And if it ends up breaking 17 bucks, you got one test, two tests, your third time testing potentially $17. And, well, just take the bottom of your range to your top of your range. That's a 261% measured move. And if you, plot that out to 261 and maybe it does half that movement, you're maybe looking at $30 or something on this move. Okay. And pay attention to that volume. Like we had a lot of volume coming in here. It doesn't look like it moved much on the price, but when the volume starts coming in like that, that means there's money flowing into this asset. All right. Well, hopefully you guys are enjoying this content in the stream here. Make sure you guys smash the like button up, hit the subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel, and we'll make sure we'll capture any of the things that you guys want to continue to look at here. Thanks, IJ Money. You are one of the most loyal subscribers that I have on the channel, so I appreciate your support, man. XRP. Let's take a look at XRP. I still think it's still in this structure that it's been in for 7 years, man. It's just skating along the demand line here. Nothing's changed. It's just it tried to rally up to the 618, pulled right back down with the rest of the market, and I think just we're getting really close to an apex on that. Just continue to pay attention to it. I mean, these are probably accumulation areas here for XRP if you're in that camp of accumulating XRP. I have nothing really bad to say about it aside from I don't like this on the weekly. This doesn't look very good when you have weekly momentum crossing back down like that. That's not good. All right, so the weekly momentum on the regular candles doesn't look good, but on HA it didn't cross down just yet. But yeah, your RSI is teetering between neutral territory here. There's definitely better assets that look better than this. Okay, but it's still respecting the pattern. As long as it's still respecting the pattern, I think it's going to be okay. SEI pulling a nice higher low here off this range and got a nice rally out of there. Maybe look for a retest or a back test after this break. Right after you get breakouts, you want to see back tests, right? Like we don't just bump and run and just go. I mean, you can, but like it's not necessarily that healthy to see. We'd like to see, on SID, we'd like to see this rally out and then maybe come draw down here and make a higher low. Then you can start to see accumulation happening for the next leg and like the next leg and like just continuing out of here, right? So higher lows being put in are actually a good thing to see. That means there's more people accumulating this asset than there were previously. So yeah. Theta coin, I'm in a trade on this coin here. Again, I did take an entry around this $1.30 region. It very well could draw back down to retest, this $1.10-20 region. That's not a big deal. I wouldn't be cutting this trade if it did that. I'd be looking for a higher low or a same low here, and then continuation out of that range. And the reason being is because if we look at the longer term time frame charts, the monthly node squeeze indicator gave us an early buy signal. So that means in the next coming months here, we could see this asset really start to test this channel or this. It looks like a massive bull flag. To me, this looks very good. And you can see that the selling pressure is starting to wean off here on the monthly, right? And after the selling pressure weans off, that's when you get buying pressure that comes in and push the price higher. And you can see that even buyers were stepping in at this level. So to me, this looks pretty good. Yeah, so this is kind of the thing. These are the things I look for. And we'll look at ENS. ENS, I think, is a good project, by the way. That's their name service. It did make a pretty big rally out of here not too long ago. We called this descending triangle breakout. We even got some nice volatility buy signals there on that break. Yeah, it just looks like you're continuing to hold this floor, maybe making an ascending triangle type of formation here. Remember, the descending triangle breakout total measured move is 710%. So that when that broke out, okay, 710% is roughly back up to the all-time high. So we could just end up consolidating, making higher lows along the way before we get to those targets. Like this drawdown here started from November 21 to the bottom here in October 23. So that was a 2-year drawdown. So we could be looking at 2 years to get back up to the top there. Okay. So we're, this bottom was put in October of 23, and we're sitting October of 24, looking at maybe another year out. So what could end up happening is we could start to see this break out. It could even actually happen pretty quick. And then what happens is it retests and draws down, and we make another sort of pattern here. Maybe we end up making a major up with handle structure for a new all-time high on something like this, right? So that's just all me speculating what the chart might do, but it's pretty important to pay attention to what these assets are doing. If they're starting to make higher lows on a demand line like this, then you can start to see a pattern kind of forming. All right. Let's see. High coin. Let's take a look at this one in a while. I think we made a call on this one a while ago. It went pretty high. Yeah, that was a pretty big move they made there, right? I remember calling this out somewhere along these lines, right? Flap, I think he made some money off that trade, right? Yeah. All right. So it's pretty clear what's going on with this asset. So we had slight range deviation down here, and then pop back in, and then retest. Use that as a base, and then rally all the way back up to almost $7. It came all the way back down to $1.30. So if history ends up repeating itself and it ends up holding this level, well, there's no reason why this thing doesn't go back up to $7 again at some point. Okay. AVAX, yeah, but take a look at AVAX. So AVAX, falling wedge broke, tested the 618 and pulled back. Nothing bad to say about AVAX as long as it's making higher lows than $20. Perfect retest. You can see that wick that came in there on the weekly chart, the daily chart here. Starting to make some nice candle bounces off these lows. You can start to see maybe some sort of channel out of this falling wedge break. Right here's your channel. It's pretty good, I would say. It's not the best, but it's not bad. You can clearly see that there is some sort of respect on this channel. All right, and yeah, you're coming up to the midline here. You could end up drawing back down to retest this low and make a double bottom, and then make your next leg up to like $30. You could do something like that. I would expect that after a bounce, you start to run out of momentum. And you need to retest those supports again to recapture momentum in the asset. It's not to say that it can't just go. It can, but getting retests is actually, like I said before, is actually really healthy to see. I mean, right now the daily looks pretty good. This might actually just continue from here. But what I'm saying is, in general, that's why you want to use momentum oscillators to get an idea of what these things might do. Is to get that kind of understanding of where you're at on the chart and what kind of momentum you need to break a certain level, right? But yeah, a falling wedge break, you got the breakout and the back test here, and you could very well just continue to rally up to eventually back up to $60, because that's the swing target of a falling wedge pattern, is the top of the wedge. But ultimately, the major swing target for this asset is actually this $140 region, because this was a major falling wedge breakout, right? So you had your major breakout, you got your major drawdown, and now you formed another kind of wedge pattern. Some people are maybe depicting this as a cup and handle. It's the same type of thing. because the cup and handles target is actually just the top of the wedge. Yeah, these charts and patterns take time to play out. Another year, maybe. Like another 6 months to a year for some of these to play out. And like, yeah, oh, but AVAX is going to go to $300. It can, but it wouldn't be the worst idea to look to de-risk some of these things at the previous top areas, right? Lots of people are going to be de-risking up there. I mean, you guys can do whatever you want to do. You know, you want to. We gave an entry on AVAX down here at $9. Okay, so even today, just holding the asset, you're still like almost 2.7x this trade. And you had an opportunity here to be almost 6x on this trade to take some profit. But you know, if you're just long-term holding stuff, then you know you want to just sell when the assets are going nuts and you're actively showing maybe your portfolio to your friends and family of like, look, dude, I made this much on this asset. Like, then it's probably, if you're confident enough to show people about your trades, it's probably time to take some profit and de-risk some things. Right. So yeah, we got 9 people on the stream tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining. If there are any other assets you guys want to look at, we got 10 people on the stream. Wow, we're climbing on the viewership tonight. Toe, what's up, dude? Let's cover the Nasdaq futures here for Toe. Nasdaq. All right, man. Nasdaq Friday closed a bullish engulfing candle. We're opening here down slightly a little bit. Not a big deal. The weekly candle, yeah, not the best weekly candle. Not the worst weekly candle, but not the best. Like we did not take out these highs. Okay. Yeah. Weekly momentum still looks okay. Weekly RSI still looks okay. I mean, it just looks bullish. I mean, I'm not saying anything is necessarily going to happen right away or right here, right now. We might even just see more sideways action here for a bit. But in terms of, I mean, this is actually telling you maybe continuation coming. But to me, like nothing bad happening on this chart. You have a low, a higher low, another higher low. You're ultimately looking to take out these highs at some point. And if this is the pivot right here, this is showing accumulation again, right? You're making a higher low. So, you know, eventually you're going to see this break to the all-time high. And are we going to break the all-time high right away? I don't know. But momentum is telling you that it's okay, maybe possibly going to do that. GC, did we check out GC? No, we did not. That's gold, right? Yeah, we did not look at gold futures right now. Take a look at them. Yeah, so gold maybe looking a bit toppy up here. A very overbought on the daily chart. Your weekly is also showing a bit of weekly bearish divergence. All right, you're diverging up here on the weekly time frame with new highs that were set in. I would not be looking to long gold up here. Okay, this might actually be a very low risk area to take a potential short trade on gold, at least for you know, a shorter swing, or you know, you haven't really broke the trend yet, but you know, you can clearly see that maybe it has room to come down to this demand line at 2640, right? The weekly time frame is telling you, man, this thing is extended. It is sitting at almost an 80 reading on the weekly RSI with bearish divergence maturing here. So I think what happens is gold ends up pulling back and crypto ends up rallying. That's my 2 cents. Bitcoin actually ends up rallying here. That's what I think ends up happening. But yeah, the trend is still your friend. The asset's still in a major uptrend here. You know, obviously this is like a runaway uptrend. I would not be looking to long gold up here personally. You know, buying the asset, physical assets, fine. Obviously, like long term, you can just buy and hold gold for life and not worry about it. But your monthly time frame here also you're also putting in some monthly bearish divergence too. Like there's a lot of things happening on this chart here that are telling me that maybe gold's nearing potential top area. Not confirmed, but when the RSI starts to look like that, you're getting close. Okay. Rivian, take a look at Rivian. Rivian Auto. Yeah, so this asset's pretty wrecked, man. Yes, maybe a gold to BTC rotation. Exactly right. Let's see. So Rivian, no real breakouts on this thing yet. Yeah, I have nothing really good to say about this just yet. Other than you're still above your all-time low, which was $8.78 region there on the monthly close. So if you were looking to swing trade this thing, you buy it here and you stop below the all-time low. And you swing it to your major ranges that are clear on the chart. Your first swing would be at like $17. You'll break $17. You're looking at $26, right? So these are your next major swing targets on something like this. What's going on, Frank? Are you potentially maybe making a double bottom there on the monthly time frame? Yeah, potentially. Not confirmed by any means. Like the weekly here is not really giving us. If this week we see major buying pressure come in on this asset and it ends up closing at like $11 and we hammer this thing, that's a pretty good clue as to what this thing might do here in the coming weeks, months. Okay, but so far we don't have that data and we don't really know. Okay. Right, your 2-day and 3-day momentum oscillators are resetting here, so that's good. Right, you're starting to maybe see here on the shorter time frame on the 2-day chart, maybe a pin or like a doji candle here. Okay, yeah, you're starting to maybe show signs of maybe a potential reversal. That's good. You could, in theory, take a trade off this level right here, like I said before, and set your stop below the all-time low. If you're long-term swing trading it, you can always dollar cost average. You can always find areas to add to your position or even scale out of your position when the asset does move up, move higher. All right. So yeah, Rivian, I would say low risk areas for sure for a long-term trade, for a long-term swing trade. If you believe in this company, the all-time high was $178. It's sitting at $10. What am I here to tell you? That this asset is cheap relative to its previous valuations. If you think it's going to have some really good growth in the next coming years, then maybe you do want to invest in Rivian stock. But let's take a look at some of these Chinese stocks, man. JD, I think I spoke about this asset. I definitely made a trading view post about it a long time ago, and it ended up breaking out of this structure. I even drew this out. Yeah, it ended up really starting to really take off here, but this took some time, right? Like I started posting this about in March of 24. Right, and it just started breaking out now. Okay, Sava, yeah, we'll take a look at it, Frank. Yeah, a lot of these Asian markets are breaking out because of QE happening there, but you can see that like even we had the inclination to know that these assets were in value areas before that even started happening, right? Like, oh man, all-time low. Like this is probably not a bad area to take a long-term trade on something like this, right? All right, so Sava, is that on TradingView, man, or is that some S coin? Yeah, it's some S coin. All right, man, we'll look at Sava coin. Sava. Oh, a stock. Okay. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. Let's see. Reclaim this range back here from 2002. That's good. Got a range up here that you need to break, $51 or whatever. Your quarterly chart looks pretty good for a long-term swing, right? Your quarterly stochastics are all the way down here. It's going into $4, he says. Okay. So short it. Why are you asking me for technical analysis advice? When does the clinical trial news drop? Okay, so then short it, man. Oh, around the end of the year. All right. Yeah. So yeah, good time to maybe short it right up here, right? Let's take a look at ETH Bitcoin down here. Oh yeah, looks like it's trying to put a low in, put a bottom in there. That looks like it might be ready to do that. Still holding the trend line. Still holding the trend line there. ETH Bitcoin ratio. Wow, very oversold. The most oversold ETH Bitcoin has ever been in its entirety in its life on the two-way chart. If that isn't a clue, then I don't know what is, but very oversold. BTC pumping. It is starting to move a little bit. It is starting to move a bit. We spoke about a break above 66K that's needed, and really the break that we're looking for is 71K. All these other numbers are pretty much not really that important. A break above 71K or a break below 54K, this thing needs to decide which direction it's going to go. So right now it looks like there's some accumulation happening, right? Looks like we made a low, got a rally, came back down, made the same low, made a higher high, slightly higher high, came back down, made another higher low, and now we're going to try to rally again. Okay, let's see how far they can take this out of here. If they can take this out of here to like 70K, and then we come back down and test again, and then we can rally off that, okay? That would be very bullish to see. That would be very bullish to see if we saw something like that happen. Okay. You can start to see the momentum starting to shift. So let's see if this is actually going to happen. The daily, reset nicely here. The 2-day probably still in the midst of resetting. The RSI is sitting bullish at 54. The monthly, let's go to the monthly. The monthly is sitting bullish at 70 with a bounce off 68. Right. Quarterly stochastics still look good. There's still a nice separation here. Crossing the midpoint, the mid zone here for the momentum. So we're looking for that continuation on momentum. That would be very bullish to see. All right. I think I pretty much covered it all. If I missed something, please make sure you guys chime in on the chat. I want to make sure I cover everything for you guys before we speak next week. We want 100K. Yeah, I think we will get that eventually. Maybe like 90K or 100K. Pulse chain assets made a nice rally out, man. I think we got a nice bit of pullback today on some of those assets. Like the wrap Bitcoin pairing or whatever. Traded up to about $240. We had a nice falling wedge breakout on it. I think we got a bit of daily bearish divergence going on here. Yeah. So I think we're going to see a bit of a drawdown on, something like, wrap Bitcoin. But I think overall, the trend is good. Pulse chain also a bit of looking a bit toppy here with some divergence on the daily. That's it, man. Pulse chain made a nice rally off this low. It did about a 83% move from the bottom there. That's a pretty significant move for a $300 million asset. Yeah, I think that's really it for the pulse chain stuff. So, Teddy Bear made a nice move. I think some of these moves are going to maybe conclude here for a bit after this pretty big movement on price. All right, Teddy Bear did about 168% from that low. DAI did, I want to say, close to 200% from its low. Yeah, a nice double bottom there, and then it did 224%. Like, what do you really want out of something like this, right? So a pullback probably in store for these assets after these big moves. Hex made quite a rip off its low. Very nice move there for Hex. Right, about a 400% move. That's a big move. So, yeah, pulse assets probably get a nice drawdown, nice pullback here. Like I said, daily book bearish divergence. Pulse chain looking like bearish divergence on the daily time frame. Could see a bit of a pullback, maybe a higher low set in somewhere, and then a continuation because these weeklies don't look extended. But your daily time frames look a bit extended, and we could see some drawdowns. Sure. Daily, just setting in a higher high here, and yesterday's price action, pullback, right? And the weekly time frame, not such a terrible candle, not the best candle, kind of an indecision candle, but big bullish engulfing candle here that's still active. I would say wrap Bitcoin's good until you start breaking below 134 again, right? To me, this looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Looks like it's now going to hold maybe this range up here. And if this ascending triangle plays out, it's like a 2,000% measured move. Maybe do about half that move, $1,500, maybe in the coming months for something like this. Your weekly momentum looking a bit toppy here. Hasn't crossed yet, but you start to see that it's maybe getting a bit exhausted. RSI is your RSI is at 62. It's definitely still got plenty of room to move here on the weekly time frame. Maybe some consolidation or pullback here. We could see something like this where it comes back down maybe the 57 level and gets a nice reset there on the daily or 2-day charts. And maybe something like this, or we maybe even test 137 eventually before we bounce off this trend line and then break out of here. But yeah, it's clear that this had a major movement up here and needs to cool off a bit. after something like that. Your momentum on the weekly isn't telling you anything bad just yet, right? You're not really diverging or anything right now. Like this momentum is still building. You know, still looks okay. I wouldn't say it's bad just yet. Your 3-day momentum, your RSI is very extended though. You can see that. But you haven't had an RSI breakout on wrap Bitcoin in quite some time. So this is the first time you've broken out like that, where now you could say that, okay, because it's overbought, you're going to definitely see a drawdown. Yeah, you're definitely going to see a drawdown. More than likely going to see a pullback here, for sure. Okay. But, just make closures above, 164, and you're going to hold the daily 200 moving average. And, this looks like a big rounding bottom formation that kind of completed there, and now you're probably going to do something like this where you come back down and retest this breakout level, maybe consolidate here for your next, maybe your next move. All right. So stay patient if you're in some of these assets. I think the longer term on them might be pretty promising. I mean, if they don't do anything, like PEG or something, they might do some crazy movements with the rest of the ecosystem. So, am I buying more wrap Bitcoin? No, I'm good. I accumulated a bunch in the $90 to $100 region, and even up to like 115. I think that's good. Might not even be a bad thing to take some risk off here and reaccumulate, but. Yep, that's pretty much it. You guys got anything else to look at or want me to look at before I jump here? Chainlink. Nothing's changed. It made a bottom. It's just grinding up. You had an attempted break and failed, and came back down to retest this level. That's it. Chainlink is kind of a slower moving asset class, but I think once ETH starts to go, that this will go for sure. Maybe some sideways here for a bit after that pullback, right? You might get an attempted push up here to like $12 and maybe reject it. You might do something like this where you go up to like 12, and then you come back down, retest the low, and then maybe eventually break it. Something like that. MSI. Oh, on ETH. Take a look at it. I don't think TVL is breaking out just yet on ETH, but it might be. Oh my god, monkey shit Inu. Okay, yeah. Who am I to judge? This doesn't look terrible. This actually looks decent. If it holds this range low here, you can clearly see that that's a level. All right. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be trading this from this position right here, it's very clear that this range low is the range low you don't want to lose. And you can swing this up to the wick highs up here, or if you're really shooting for the moon on something like this, you could be looking at a swing all the way back up to the all-time high. And the reason why I say that that's a possibility is because, well, you have a cup with maybe a handle structure here that could maybe produce something like that. So yeah, that could be a major trade setup. Because once you start making closures back above this level, it's just straight up price action. So doesn't look bad, actually. If it's holding that low like that and you'd be putting in a daily pin bar like that, looks okay. Maybe you do want to strategize a swing trade from there. Not the worst place to do it. Auction. Look at auction. Looks like I already kind of had something plotted for this thing. Kind of redraw it though. But yeah, I mean, this also looks not terrible, right? Because you've broke it. Now you're retesting this range low. If you wanted to take a trade off something like this, it's just really that simple. Like, hey, set your stop kind of tight and swing this back up to the top of the range. It looks like it might be like a major inverse head and shoulders type of structure in development. Slanted maybe. If that does play out, and then you're looking at long term, if you end up breaking that neckline, who knows? In this bull run, you could see something like this. I'm not saying it goes to $500, but man, it can. I know there's not a lot of tokens on this coin, so the tokenomics are decent. And I'd probably look for this 160 level as a major fit target if you end up breaking that neckline. But just see how this develops, right? So like, this may not end up being this type of formation. It may just be like, maybe it is, maybe some sort of cup here. It looks like it's kind of developing that, right? You guys can kind of see that, and yeah, just manage your risk. Top to bottom here is 317% move. So, you could de-risk somewhere at the top of this range. And if you end up taking out the top of the range and going on a major move, I'm sure there'll be a pullback along the way. It's not just going to break it right away. It'll probably pull back there at the top of the range and make a higher low somewhere and then reaccumulate to continue the next leg. Right. So yeah, I would say it doesn't look that bad. It's okay. Kind of neutral on the weekly RSI. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on the next stream. All right.
Hey everyone, you've landed on the Swing Trade Pros website here. My name is Mr. Know-It-All. I've been an active swing trader for over 7 years. I want to welcome you guys all to the community here. My goal is to change 1 million people's lives with swing trading and trading profitably. This is a skill set you can learn here with the service. Go check out the testimonials in Discord. You can see lots of folks talking about the service and how the trade calls are super profitable. You can check Profit Gains channel. I think we've amassed around $150,000 worth of profits in the last year posted in the Profit Gains channel just from other users and traders in the community. I'd like all of you guys to check out the 14-day free trial. A coupon code will be pinned in the comment section below this video, so check it out. And we'll take you through 14-day free trial process here. You come down to the website, save 44%, and claim your 14-day free trial. Click on that. And that will take you to the Swing Trade Pros website where you can click sign up now. And after your 14-day free trial is up, on the 15th day, you will get billed, full disclosure of that. And I appreciate you guys all joining the community. It will change your lives. Give it a chance. A lot of these swing trades can take months. One of our biggest trades of the year last year was INJ. We took an entry at $1.60, and well, that asset's trading over $35 today. So that was one of the banger trades that I pointed out. My strongest pattern that I trade that I'm known for is the falling wedge. I call it the falling node wedge pattern. Lots of divergence on these charts. And that's what makes these patterns really play out. And you guys are going to be able to really learn that in the service. And I really hope you enjoy it. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you guys on the charts.